Hello, I'm Nightmare, and welcome to The Letter. This game is on Steam. It's a horror visual novel that looks fairly promising. I don't know how long of episodes this is going to turn out to be, but we will find out. Let's see, get my stuff set up here a little better. Here we go. Alright. What's the extras? Nothing. Alright, let's get into it. Hello? The Ermengarde Mansion. What do we do here? It was built for Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde of Luxbourne. If I read that right. Humble ambassadors of peace and beloved by their people. Both were well known for their compassion and generosity, never failing to extend a helping hand to anyone in need. Under their influence and wealth, what was once a small, sleepy village grew to a prosperous and bustling town. However, the seasons of joy eventually ended when the good nobles perished at the hands of a great plague. Their riches and legacy henceforth passed on to their only child, Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion has stood since the 1620s, a witness to a very long history of joy and pain. After Lady Charlotte committed suicide, the great house was eventually left uninhabited. And that is when it began. Surrounding villagers spoke of seeing and hearing unearthly things, of cries and howls that filled the nights, and hearsay of a mysterious woman roaming the hollowed halls aimlessly. People who dared enter its walls were simply never heard from again. Even after 400 years, these stories remain much like the house itself. Wow, for being 400 years old, this house looks like it's in phenomenal shape. It really does. Whispers about the once great house, its legend, and its curse still fall upon the villagers' ears. In spite of this, the current owners are convinced that these stories are nothing more than a hoax. With little regard for the truth, they had Briar Realty Corporation place the property back for sale. Like Pandora's box, the secrets that lie inside await to be discovered by brave souls. No matter what happens, take care not to be consumed by the curse. Good luck. Isabella.
Hello? Isabella? Are you there? Where are you?
A familiar jittery voice comes from the other end.
Oh, hey Rose. I'm at St. Goretti High. What's the matter?
What do you mean, what's the matter? It's the mansion, silly. I'm here and you're late.
Voice acting's pretty good.
Jeez, we're on shift together. You promised. Oh my god, please don't tell me you forgot. You were planning on leaving me to check this place out on my own, weren't you? You chickened out.
Calm down. You know I take my promises seriously.
I'd like to believe that. So hurry up and get here. This place is huge. A bit too quiet since no one's lived here since, like, forever, but beautiful nonetheless.
Why are you so surprised? This isn't the first time you've been there.
I know. I just wish I could live in a place like this. It really takes my breath away.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Not after the rumors that say it's haunted.
Please, never mind those rumors. Ghosts aren't real after all. And even if they are, which they are not, they can't do anything. They're nothing but spirits.
You don't know that. They might be listening or watching right now, and they might not be happy with you enough to curse you.
Okay.
No offense, sweetie, but that's a bit of a stretch.
I agree, Rose. I agree, Rose.
Believe it or not, it's better to be careful.
Right. You know, not every property we sell will end up with a dead body stuffed in a sofa.
Okay, so are these the realtors? Why are we seeing a school here?
And I think that mansion is where we'll likely find another one. I can feel it.
That was one time, Isabella. Loosen up.
So have they been spooked before?
Just get here ASAP, please. I'm getting bored being here on my own.
Fine, fine. Let me just finish up here. I'll be right there soon.
Okay, see you. Bye.
She hangs up before I can respond. Rose, still charming as ever.
Who was that?
I look up from my phone to see Rebecca. Becca, giving me a questioning look.
Oh, that? It's just Rose.
Rose? The one you said who trained you for your job back when you started? You're working together again?
Just for this property. We've been scoping out that big mansion down Anselm Village after the renovations. Today's sort of its grand opening to the public. The RC wants to give it one last check before we let potential buyers tour it this afternoon.
Oh, wait, mansion? That big spooky one you've been telling everyone about? Didn't you keep saying how it just gave you the creeps? You actually went there? And you're going back?
Well, I did promise Rose I wouldn't ditch her. And besides, a job is a job. Gotta do what you gotta do to make a living.
As soon as those words leave my mouth, Becca lets out a soft chuckle.
What's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that I didn't expect you to say that. Coming from you, it sounds so out of character. I mean, no offense, but you've been freaking out about the place being creepy ever since you got assigned to it. Cursed rumors and all.
I just noticed when she moves, her boobs jiggle. Nice touch, guys.
I honestly thought you'd back out.
Not all the time. I could really use a huge amount of cash right now, and this is just the fastest way to get it. Plus, listen to this. Briar Realty wants it sold as soon as possible, and the agent who lands the deal is going to get a huge bonus. They never give bonuses like that. Getting that would make life so much easier. They're desperate, I'm desperate, it's perfect.
A sympathetic look crosses her face.
You know, if you're really in urgent need of money, you could have just asked me. Or Ashton. We can always let you borrow, and you can pay us back whenever.
I have to keep myself from groaning out loud. In the years I've known her, I can already tell what to expect once she has that expression.
Becca!
I've noticed that you've been living off instant noodles these past few weeks.
Shameful. Shameful! She crosses her arms and grimaces at the thought. Her voice slightly rises and she begins to scold me. Instantly, I'm reminded why Becca excels at teaching boisterous teenagers. So we're a teacher. Okay, that makes sense. That's kind of where I was thinking we were going with that.
Stop eating junk. They're cheap, but they're not good for you.
No, they're not. They're full of salt.
You'll definitely end up in the hospital if you keep at it.
Here we go again. I eat other things too. You're not my mom.
Hey! I eat other things too.
So, I seen up here that popped up. Oh, we can build relationships. Interesting. I fold my arms across my chest, mimic her posture, giving her the best frown I can muster. The same one I'd use with my younger siblings when they were being difficult. Instead, she only raises an eyebrow at me.
That's not going to work on me. And I saw it when you were cleaning your flat last week. The instant noodle cups outnumber everything else.
You're just exaggerating. Did you even see what's in my cupboard yet? I'm not just living on instant noodles alone. I've got canned beans, peas, tuna, ham, and even hamburgers in there.
You have hamburgers in your cabinet? I don't think they'll be good. Becca's wrinkling her nose by the time I get to the end of the small list. She even went on a little green one the last time. I would have laughed a little at that If I didn't know, it would only lead to more reprimands from her.
Aren't those the same ones you won from the grocer's raffle more than a year ago? Oh, I sincerely hope you're checking the date stamps on those things before eating them. I don't want a repeat of last year. In any case, those are still not exactly healthier choices, Belle.
She shakes her head, possibly laughing at some funny, distant memory. When she looks up, I immediately brace myself. More words from her. Sometimes it's just better to let Becca talk until she's out of things to say. But when she turns her attention back to me, there is only warmth in her smile. No.
What am I going to do with you?
I don't know, Becca. What are you going to do with me? She says this more to herself than me, her voice shifting to something kinder, even motherly, if I'm looking for an exact word.
I hope you know that it's impossible not to worry about you when you're like this. You don't have to keep eating the same thing. I already told you before. You're always free to reheat food in my fridge.
Thanks, Becca. I really appreciate it, but you don't need to keep babying me. You've been taking care of me since after I moved here. You have to take a break sometime. And before you ask again, no. You know I'm not a fan of borrowing money. And I'm not going to ask you to give me what you earned hard for yourself.
You and your pride. But suit yourself.
I offered.
The offer stays on the table, though.
I nod in response, if only to get her to drop the topic. But I'm pretty certain I will never take that offer. Ever. It has nothing to do with pride. I've simply seen plenty of times how friendships can take a turn for the worse just because of few unpaid debts. That is true. That is very true. That's words to live by, folks. Words to live by. I don't want something like that to happen between me and Becca. We may argue about a lot of small things, petty things, but she already feels like a real sister to me. I don't want to lose that friendship over something so trivial. Becca's movements, when she takes a quick glance at something behind me, she snaps out of my thoughts.
Well, enough chit-chat. Lunch is ending, and my students will be back any minute. We can catch up later. Good luck with your clients. You better treat us to lunch or something if you get that sale.
You bet!
Yay! With a small smile, she returns to her desk and begins sifting through the pages of a rather thick history book. She'll probably be working on next week's lesson plan. Or at least trying. Her eyes are distant and she doesn't seem too attentive to whatever is on the page. As if she heard my thoughts, Becca starts coughing heavily. Her hand hastily goes to her mouth to stifle the sounds. And this is precisely why I followed her here. For someone who makes a habit of worrying about other people, Becca sure forgets how to take care of herself.
Hey, you sure you can manage on your own? I mean, you're still a bit feverish.
Hush, dear. Don't you worry about me. I'll just drink some medicine and I'll be right as rain.
Right as rain. I level her with a flat look. She has had a cold for a couple of days now. Something about the strange weather not agreeing with her lately. And despite my advice to take the week off and rest, I found her apartment empty when I dropped by this morning. She even left the medicine her doctor prescribed. Look who's being stubborn now.
You shouldn't even be working right now.
Seriously, you big baby. I'll be fine. For now, just go to work and stop making that Rose girl wait for you. I'll call you if I still feel bad, and you can come pick me up if it makes you feel any better.
She offers me a reassuring smile, and I can only sigh. Why do I even bother? There is no stopping her once she has decided on something. Defeated, I reach in my bag to pull out the same bottle of medicine she left earlier. She looks at it warily, and I place it in front of her. Unfortunately for her, this is one thing I'm not letting her have her way.
All right, but don't forget what the doctor said. Drink this on time. I'll see you later, okay?
There's an amused gleam in her eyes when she shifts them back to me.
Look who's playing the mother hen now.
Rebecca!
Okay. I won't tease anymore. I'll make sure to drink it, Mom.
Before I can retort, she casts another look at the clock. I take that as a sign to finally end the conversation and my short visit. With a small wave, I leave her alone in her classroom and her thoughts. I hail a passing taxi to take me to the property as soon as I leave the school grounds. The mansion is some ways out in the countryside, but I don't have the trouble giving the driver directions. Apparently everyone in Luxembourg City knows of it, including every bit of rumor surrounding the place. In fact, just the mention of its name is enough for locals to give you cautious sidelong glances. I learned the hard way that the first time I commuted there, and it only boosted my belief that there is something more to the house. Even the news of it being renovated and placed back up on the market has caused quite a stir. Thankfully, it died down a few weeks later. The place would have become a lot harder to sell otherwise. I avert my eyes from the window once the buildings shrink in the distance. We get a glimpse of the countryside soon, although a quick glance and my watch tells me we're still a few minutes away from our destination. Might as well get some work done. Rose did ask me to review the mansion's documents. I already looked over at them last night, but you never know when things might go wrong. Life always has a way. I'm always adding words to shit. Did you notice that? My God. Life has a way of messing things up like that. Halfway through reading the papers, my phone rings again. I pick it up without looking, neatly tucking it between my ear and shoulder. It's probably just Rose again.
Rose?
Guess again.
That voice.
Bingo.
Hey, what's up?
Just checking if you're still cool later this evening.
You mean that thing with Zach?
Yeah. He even called in the middle of the night just to remind me.
No, don't worry. I didn't forget. I'll be there.
Cool. I'll see you later. What time do you get off?
Around 6 p.m.? I don't know. It's the first day of the Ermengarde Mansion's open house, and we're expecting quite a number of potential buyers. I'll be booked the whole afternoon.
Ermengarde Mansion?
You know, the big Jacobean mansion at Anselm Village? I'm on my way there right now, actually.
On your own?
Yeah, well, Rose is already there, but yeah.
I see. Looks like the scaredy cat finally toughened up.
Shut up!
Ash chuckles, and I can't help but roll my eyes upon hearing.
I'll see you later. Drop me a call
Asshole.
when you're done. I'll see if I can pick you up.
Cute.
Whatever. Bye.
Stupid asshole, always teasing me whenever he sees the chance. I'll show him who's tough. Here we are. Let's look at our journal. Before going to the Ermengarde Mansion, Isabel Santos dropped by the St. Goretti High School to check on Rebecca Gales. The former reminded the latter to take her flu medicine before leaving. On the way to the mansion, Isabella received a phone call from Ashton Frey, reminding her of Zachary Still's movie premiere that night. Okay, I guess that's it. We got new profiles here. This tells who they are. If you guys want to read that, that's totally up to you. So you can pause it here if you want. It takes a few more minutes until I finally reach the infamous mansion. I have to admit, the entire property does look wonderful from the outside. Yet despite all of this, it does nothing to hide that something is just wrong. The surrounding area is unusually silent, and the rustling of the leaves can be heard as the occasional breeze passes. While Anselm Village is just a few miles away, everybody keeps their distance on purpose. Perhaps out of fear, the horror of falling under the mansion's curse. Somehow it makes me feel sad. The lack of immediate human presence just makes this place all more eerie than it has any right to be. If it's uncanny in broad daylight, I can't imagine how this place looks at night.
Are you planning to go inside that place, Missy?
The voice nearly makes me jump out of my skin. Without completely taking my eyes away from the house, I give the driver a confused nod. A beat passes while I wait for him to say more, but his only answer is a non-committal hum. Belatedly, it occurs to me that he must have been waiting for my payment. I mentally slap myself for spacing out and promptly hand him the fare with an apologetic look. I expected him to leave as soon as I paid, but there's a hesitant expression on him, as if something hasn't been said yet.
Is there something wrong?
Look, Missy, I'm sure you've heard what the people are telling everyone about that place. Nobody likes to be disturbed when they're at peace, and I'm pretty sure whatever they say is in that house doesn't want to either.
So everybody in town is really scared of this house.
I admit they did a good job fixing it up, but there must have been a reason why even distant relatives of the family who used to own the house never lived in there despite inheriting it.
And that's true, unless they just didn't want to move out in BFE or whatever.
No wonder they wanted to get rid of it.
Maybe they just didn't like it?
You never know.
He drives off after, but what he said has left a foreboding feeling in my gut. I breathe out a heavy sigh as I approach the house. After hearing enough of the rumors, I should have expected the conversation to take that turn. But I'm already here. Backing out is completely out of the question. It's not like I have a choice anyway. If I want to get that bonus and commission, one way or another, I've got to sell this property. The door is ajar when I get to it. However, while my own copy of the keys dangle uselessly in my hand, Rose must have left it open when she arrived. That's weird. We may be the only people here, but it's early, but I've never known her as someone careless. Oh. It's creepy. Entering what greets me inside leaves me gaping. They've cleaned every corner, waxed the floor, dusted the antiques, searched every nook, cranny, and crevice, and made it spick and span. It's still creepy. All for the sake of making the mansion more enticing to the modern-day lords and ladies. But no matter how hard they try, the mansion still looks as soulless as ever, as though it's going to eat you alive. If you ask me, they should have just listened to what other people had been telling them and left this place alone. Some things in the world are better left alone, never to be disturbed ever again.
Rose?
Nice echo. I call out.
Rose, I'm here. Where are you?
My voice echoes softly through the hallways. Oh, who am I kidding? In a place this big, I don't think she'll hear me no matter how deafening the silence is. She could be all the way on the other side of the property for all I know. I quickly reach for my phone and dial her number. But
the number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
okay. What do you mean has not been recognized? We were just talking a while ago. It's not like she's been eaten by the house, right? Or maybe the ghost did hear us talking and spirited her away, right? Right? No, Isabella, don't be ridiculous. She probably just wandered deeper into the house and lost signal or something. I don't know. The number has not been recognized? That doesn't sound good. I dial her number again, hoping the call will connect this time.
The number you have dialed has not been recognized. Please check and try again.
Uh-oh. But to no avail. Oh boy. I have a very bad feeling about
Rose?
this.
If you can hear me, please come out.
I love how she looks.
Come on, Rose. This isn't funny. You know this place gives me the creeps.
No answer. This isn't going to work. This place is big. She could be anywhere. I need to start looking for her. I take a deep breath before venturing deeper into the mansion. Taking a couple steps forward, I notice something move above the grand staircase.
What the hell? Rose?
I didn't see
Rose, is
anything.
that you? Not funny. I'm leaving you if you don't come out. Not coming out, huh?
Fine, I'm going.
Okay, that's a lie. She's my friend. I can't really leave until I know she's all right. Growing desperate, I try to contact her number again. Come on, please give me something. Please, Lord? Yes, finally.
Hello? Hello? Rose, I'm here at the mansion. Where the hell are you?
She doesn't respond. There's also heavy static coming from her side. I sincerely hope it doesn't get cut off again before I can get an answer from
Rose,
her.
come on. Where are you?
A few moments pass until the static eventually starts to quiet down. Uh-oh. No, thank you.
What? The attic? What?
I cut that off. Sorry, guys. Crap, it got cut off. Man, do I really need to go there? With how deep inside this mansion the attic is, there's barely any signal there. No wonder I can't contact her. But why is she there? Out of all places, she just has to make me go fetch her in the creepiest room of this place. Is she going to do this? Is she going to do this to get back at me for being late? Whatever, I'll just go. The sooner I meet up with her, the sooner I'll feel better about being here. I carefully make my way up the staircase. My legs wobble as I mentally curse the fact that I've chosen real estate instead of picking a career that doesn't involve strange abandoned houses. Upon reaching the top, the grand hallway greets me. It branches out to two major wings of the mansion, the east wing and the west wing. I read that. Yeah, I read that right. All right, I'm going to cut this episode here. If you like this, let me know in the comments below. Hit the like button. This is going to be, it's a game, but it's more of a story, so it's something different that I've not really done. So, be nice to one another, and we'll meet in the next episode. See you guys.